Okay, praise the Lord.
परमेश्वरको महिमा भएको होस्।
I hope it's not 9 more years.
अनि म 9 वर्ष पहिला यहाँ आएको थिएँ अघि
We come before that. So we did nice time in the Bible study in whose home, Pastor Nurj?
रत्नबहादुर दाइ
Alright.
His wife is here as well.
Okay.
हिजो हाम्रो एउटा
Good time.
रत्नबहादुर दाजु घर अनि हिजो सङ्गति एउटा राम्रो सङ्गति भएको थियो।
We'll talk about missions.
अनि हामी चाहिँ आज मिसनको सम्बन्धमा कुराकानी गर्नेछौँ।
There's a story in the Bible of one man and he wanted to meet the king.
अनि हामी त्यो बाइबलमा एउटा घटना पाउँछौँ अनि त्यो व्यक्ति जो चाहिँ एउटा राजालाई भेट्दछन्
But the king wouldn't meet him.
तर राजाले चाहिँ उसलाई भेट्न चाहँदैन।
So the guy had an idea.
अनि उसको दिमागमा एउटा योजना आउँछ।
He called the king's general and says, he said, the general will help me meet the king.
अनि उसले चाहिँ अनि राजाको सहायकलाई बोलाउँछन् र उसद्वारा चाहिँ राजासँग भेट गर्न।
But the general wouldn't need him either.
अनि त्यो सहायकले पनि त्यो कुरालाई स्वीकार गर्दैन।
What to do?
अनि अब के गर्ने?
So what he did was he went to the general's farm.
अनि त्यसपछि त्यो व्यक्तिले के गर्ने भन्दाखेरि अब त्यो सहायकको चाहिँ फार्ममा
And he set all his wheat on fire.
अनि उसले चाहिँ सबै फार्ममा चाहिँ आगो लगाइदिन्छ।
All the fields on fire.
अनि सबै खेतहरूमा चाहिँ आगो लगाइदिन्छन्।
And the general found out and he came running. Why you set my fields on fire?
अनि किन तिमीले चाहिँ मेरो सबै खेतबारीमा आगो लगाइदियौ?
Because I want to talk to you.
अनि किनभने म तिमीसँग कुरा गर्न चाहन्छु।
You set my fields on fire.
अनि तर तिमीले मेरो खेतमा आगो लगाइदियौ।
But I have to talk to you.
तर म तिमीसँग कुरा गर्न चाहन्छु।
So he said, I need to see the king.
अनि म चाहिँ राजालाई भेट्न चाहन्छु।
So the general said, okay, let's go.
अनि त्यसपछि त्यो सहायकले भन्छ कि ल ठिक छ अब तिमी जान सक्छौ।
He had to see the king. It was important.
अनि उसलाई चाहिँ राजालाई भेट्नु चाहिँ महत्त्वपूर्ण थियो।
Couldn't find any other way. Risky way, very risky.
अनि उसले चाहिँ एउटा जोखिमपूर्ण कुरा खतरा मोडेर चाहिँ राजालाई भेट्न चाहे।
Watch what happens in our life sometimes.
अनि कतिपय हाम्रो जीवनमा यी कुराहरू हुन सक्छन्।
God will bring some trouble sometimes to us.
अनि हाम्रो जीवनमा परमेश्वरले केही यस्ता समस्याहरू ल्याइरहेको
He
छ।
sets my field on fire.
अनि ताकि हाम्रो खेतमा चाहिँ आगो लागोस्।
I go to God, why you set my field on fire?
अनि हामी भन्छौँ कि मेरो खेतमा किन आगो लागेको छ?
Why you bringing trouble in my life?
किन मेरो जीवनमा मात्र समस्या आयो?
Why I have this problem?
अनि किन अनि यो समस्या मेरो जीवनमा?
And God says, don't worry about your problem.
अनि परमेश्वरले भन्नुहुन्छ कि
I want to talk to you.
अनि तिमी आफ्नो चिन्ताको बारेमा
Why did you do this to me?
नगर तर म तिमीसँग कुरा गर्न चाहन्छु।
I'll fix that.
अनि हामी भन्छौँ किन यस्तो कुरा तर मैले
I couldn't talk to you and I had to get your attention.
अनि म तिमीसँग कुरा गर्न सकिरहेको थिएन त्यसैले यो कुरा
Very risky way, but God says, I want your attention.
अनि धेरै जोखिमपूर्ण र त्यसै कारणले हाम्रो
I want to talk to you. But you're too busy with this and this and this and this.
अनि हामी धेरै कुरामा व्यस्त हुन्छौँ त्यसैले हामी कुराकानी
trouble into us.
अनि त्यसै कारणले उहाँले
A little bit of trouble. And then what do we do?
अनि त्यसपछि हामी के गर्छौँ?
Then we pray.
अनि त्यसपछि हामी
We really pray.
अनि हामी साँच्चै नै प्रार्थना
And
गर्छौँ।
when we pray, God can tell us, I'll fix your problem. It's okay.
अनि त्यसपछि प्रार्थनामा उहाँले भन्छ यो कुरा मैले फिक्स गरेँ अनि ठिकै छ।
But the more we pray,
जति धेरै हामी प्रार्थना
God says,
गर्छौँ
there's bigger things in life than your problem.
अनि जति ठुलो समस्या हाम्रो जीवनमा छ
And I need to talk to you about
अनि
it.
त्यो समयमा म तिमीसँग कुरा गर्न चाहन्छु।
And God says, I also have some fields.
अनि मेरो पनि त्यस्ता केही खेतहरू छन्
And you don't care about my fields.
अनि तर तिमीले चाहिँ त्यसको वास्ता गरेका छौ।
I got problems too.
अनि त्यो समस्या मसँग पनि छ
You don't care about my problems.
तर तिमीले चाहिँ मेरो समस्यालाई वास्ता गरेका छौ।
God sets my field on fire.
अनि परमेश्वरले मेरो खेतमा आगो लगाइदिन्छ।
And say, look now the problems.
अनि हेर्नुस् अब मेरो समस्या।
And then finally God starts, when we pray and pray,
जब हामी प्रार्थना गर्छौँ
God can begin to say, you know that life isn't all about you.
अनि के तिमीलाई थाहा छ तिम्रो जीवन मात्रै जीवन होइन।
What you want,
तर जुन कुरा तिमी चाहन्छौ
your problems,
तिम्रो समस्या
you know, I also have a heart.
अनि मसँग पनि एउटा हृदय
I
छ।
also have problems.
मसँग पनि एउटा समस्या
And I also need help.
अनि मलाई पनि एउटा सहयोगको
He
आवश्यकता
kind of doesn't need us, but he wants us to help.
त्यो त्यति आवश्यक छैन तर उहाँलाई आवश्यक
We're like the man saying, why did you set my field on fire?
अनि हामी भन्छौँ किन हजुरले चाहिँ मेरो खेतमा आगो लगाइदिनु
And then God says, okay, don't worry about your field.
अनि परमेश्वरले भन्छ तिम्रो खेतको बारेमा चिन्ता
What
गर
about my fields?
अनि त्यसो भए मेरो
And
खेतको
God
बारेमा
says, I have fields.
अनि मसँग एउटा खेत छ
And the field is the world.
अनि त्यो खेत भनेको
And I have a
संसार।
harvest field and it's very great.
अनि यो चाहिँ एकदम ठुलो छ जुन बाली
And I have no workers.
अनि त्यहाँ कुनै काम गर्ने व्यक्ति
Very
छैन
few workers.
अनि केही थोरै मात्र कामदारहरू
Because
छ
everybody's working in their own field.
अनि किनभने सबैजना आफ्नै खेतमा काम
My
गरेका छन्।
problem, my thing.
मेरो समस्या मेरो कुराहरू मात्रै
And you know, even when we come to church, the first time we come to church,
जब हामी पहिलो पटक मण्डली आउँछौँ
we come sometimes because we need forgiveness.
अनि किनभने हामीलाई क्षमा चाहिन्छ
We're guilty.
अनि हाम्रो गलानी
Or we're broken hearted.
अनि हाम्रो हृदय तोडिएको हुन्छ
Or many reasons.
अनि धेरैवटा कारणले हामी चर्च आउँछौँ
Some people come because they think maybe I get a job.
अनि सायद मानिसहरूले सोच्छन् कि म चर्च
And
आएर
some people come because they think maybe I get a girlfriend.
अनि सायद मैले एउटा
And they come around motives.
अनि सायद उनले आफ्नो साधनहरूको निम्ति पनि आउँदछन् साधन चाहने
So what? Where will you learn good motives except in the church?
गलत इरादाले
अहिले हामी चाहिँ गलत इरादाले हामी चर्च आउँछ भने हामी अरू के कुराहरू हामी सिक्छौँ
I come in needing forgiveness.
यदि म क्षमाको निम्ति
And I
मण्डली
come in like, God, I need guilt, I need forgiveness.
अनि ममा गलानी सक्यो मलाई क्षमा
My
गर्नु।
life is broken, I need comfort.
अनि मेरो हृदय तोडिएको छ मलाई सान्त्वना आवश्यक
And we come in for that reason.
अनि त्यो कारणले हामी चर्च आउँछौँ
But then we find actually, and God does that,
अनि परमेश्वर त्यहाँ कार्य गर्नुहुन्छ
comforts us,
अनि सान्त्वना
forgives
दिनुहुन्छ,
us.
क्षमा दिनुहुन्छ
But then He says, I'm glad you came.
अनि त्यसपछि उहाँले भन्नुहुन्छ,
Because actually there's something bigger that life is.
अनि तिम्रो जीवनभन्दा पनि अलिक ठुलो कुराहरू त्यहाँ रहेको छ
And it's that God loves the world.
अनि परमेश्वरले
He
संसारलाई प्रेम
said,
गर्नुहुन्छ।
John 3:16,
निबुन्ना 3:16
God so loved the world
परमेश्वरले संसारलाई यस्तो प्रेम
that He
गर्नुभयो
gave His only Son.
अनि उहाँले आफ्नो एकमात्र पुत्र दिनुभयो
God loves that spirit of God is in you and it's in me.
अनि यो परमेश्वरको जुन हृदय आत्मा छ हृदय छ यो
And
तपाईँ ममा पनि छ
we think like, I don't even know what's outside Pokhara.
अनि मलाई थाहा छैन कि यो पोखराभन्दा बाहिर के भयो
But God says He put in our heart a love for the world.
अनि परमेश्वरको हृदय हामीलाई दिनुभएको छ संसारलाई
And that's, our heart is, God makes our heart big like that.
अनि परमेश्वरले यस्तो प्रकारले हाम्रो हृदयलाई तयार गर्नुहुन्छ
You know, if you look at Asia, does anyone know William Carey? He was the great missionary in this part of the world.
केहीको बारेमा कतिजनालाई थाहा
They
छ
call him the father of missions.
अनि हामी उहाँलाई चाहिँ अनि मिसनको पिता भनेर
He was
बोलाउँछौँ।
about 130 years ago.
अनि 130 वर्ष अगाडि
But he came to India and this kind of part, India.
अनि भारतको एउटा क्षेत्रमा उहाँ आउनुभयो
And the population of the world
अनि विश्वको जनसङ्ख्या चाहिँ
was less than the population of India then.
अनि त्यो समयमा इन्डियाको चाहिँ कम थियो
And this is Asia is huge, it's as big as the world.
अनि एसिया महादेश चाहिँ अनि
And
सबभन्दा ठुलो
Asia needs missions.
अनि एसियामा चाहिँ मिसनको आवश्यक छ
You know, you get all these missionary statistics, you hear loads of missionary statistics.
अनि हामी मिसनरीको धेरैवटा
This
मिसनरीको
many Hindus, this many Muslims, 22%, of Buddhists, 18%.
अनि हामीलाई थाहा छ अनि बुद्धिस्ट यति प्रतिशत छ मुस्लिम यति प्रतिशत अनि यी कुराहरू
But here's a good statistic. Here's a good one you'll remember.
अनि यो एउटा कुरा चाहिँ हामीलाई एउटा असल कुरा चाहिँ हामीलाई याद गर्नु छ यहाँ
50% of the world are women.
अनि 50% चाहिँ संसारमा स्त्रीहरू हुनुहुन्छ
It's easy to remember.
अनि यो चाहिँ सजिलो छ सम्झनाको निम्ति
Half of the world are women.
अनि आधा संसार चाहिँ स्त्रीहरूले भरिएको
Who is the best person to minister to a woman?
अनि को चाहिँ अनि असल छ स्त्रीहरूको बिचमा सेवा गर्नको निम्ति
A woman is.
अनि स्त्रीहरू नै
Who can talk to a woman about woman problems?
अनि स्त्रीको समस्याको बारेमा को बोल्न सक्छ
About children problems?
अनि बच्चाको समस्याको विषय
Who has a right to go into the house when the husband is away and sit with the woman and the children?
अनि को चाहिँ सही छ एउटा परिवारमा गएर बच्चा र अनि स्त्रीहरूलाई सिकाउन
The women do.
अनि त्यो स्त्रीहरूले
And God needs workers.
अनि परमेश्वरलाई काम गर्ने व्यक्तिको आवश्यक छ
And God is looking for laborers for the harvest.
अनि परमेश्वर चाहिँ बालीको निम्ति अनि कामदार
So we think of missions, and where does missions come from?
अनि यो मिसन भन्ने शब्द कहाँबाट आयो
It comes from the local church.
अनि यो चाहिँ एउटा हाम्रो मण्डलीबाट नै आएको
The greatest missionary is the Apostle Paul.
अनि एउटा सबभन्दा अनि असल मिसनरी चाहिँ हामी प्रेरित पावल
He was in a local church, not the main headquarter church, but a church called Antioch.
अनि उहाँ चाहिँ अनि एउटा लोकल चर्चबाट एन्टियोक भन्ने ठाउँबाट
And that church prayed for them,
अनि त्यो मण्डलीले चाहिँ
and then they sent out the first mission team.
अनि उहाँले चाहिँ पहिलो मिसन ट्रिपमा उहाँलाई
And then after some time, they came back to the church again.
अनि फेरि केही समयपछि
Because that church was their family.
अनि किनभने चर्च
And they got comforted.
अनि उनीहरूले
And
सान्त्वना पाए
they sent them out. But I'll just tell you one story you know the story of Moses, how he took the Jews out of Egypt?
अनि के तपाईलाई थाहा छ मोसाको विषयमा उहाँ कसरी मिस्रबाट निकाल्नु भयो उहाँले
And Moses went to Pharaoh and said, "Let my people go and worship."
मोसा चाहिँ फारोमा गएर मेरा मानिसहरूलाई जान दियो र परमेश्वरको आराधना गर्न दियो
So Pharaoh says, "No."
अनि फारो राजाले भने हुँदैन
And then when Moses did some miracles,
अनि जब मोसाले केही त्यहाँ आश्चर्य कर्महरू गरे
then Pharaoh said, "Okay,
अनि फारोले भने
they
हुन्छ
can go and worship God,
अनि तपाईहरुले आफ्नो परमेश्वरको आराधना गर्न
but they
सक्नुहुन्छ
can't go very far."
अनि तर तपाईहरु चाहिँ धेरै टाढा नजानुस्
And what it means is this: it's okay to be a Christian.
अनि यसको अर्थ यो हुन्छ कि हुन्छ एउटा ईसाई हुनको
It's okay to follow Jesus,
अनि ठिकै छ यीशु ख्रीष्टलाई पछ्याउनको निम्ति
but don't go too far with it.
अनि तर धेरै टाढा चाहिँ नजानु
Come on Saturday morning, that's enough.
अनि शनिबार मात्र आउनुस् यति भए पुग्छ
Don't take this thing too serious.
अनि यसलाई धेरै गम्भीरताको कुराको रूपमा
Because you can follow, they can follow God, but don't go far.
अनि उहाँहरूले चाहिँ परमेश्वरलाई पछ्याउन सक्नुहुन्छ
And Moses said, "No, we're going to go as far as God leads us to
अनि
go."
मोसाले त्यहाँ भन्नुभयो कि हामी टाढाभन्दा टाढा जान्छौँ जहाँसम्म हामीले
Then there was another plague.
अनि त्यहाँ अझै एउटा रोग विपत्ति
And then again Moses says, "Let my people go far."
अनि फेरि त्यहाँ मोसाले भने कि मेरो मानिसहरूलाई
So he
जान
said,
दिनुहोस् टाढा
"Okay, they can go far,
अनि फेरि राजाले भने ठिकै छ तिनीहरू टाढासम्म
but they're
जान
not to bring their sheep and their cattle."
अनि तिनीहरूसँग भएको यो भेडा बाख्राहरू चाहिँ नलैजाऊ
And this means you can follow God,
अनि यसको अर्थ चाहिँ हुन्छ कि तिमीले आफ्नो परमेश्वरलाई पछ्याउन
but
सक्छौ
make sure that you have everything else is all secure, that you don't give too much to God.
अनि यो सबै कुरामा धेरै परमेश्वरलाई नदिनुहोस्
And Moses says, "No, we go as far as God wants us."
अनि मोसाले पनि हुँदैन परमेश्वरले हामीलाई जहाँसम्म लानुहुन्छ हामी त्यति
So
टाढा
then the third time,
अनि तेस्रो पटक फेरि
he says, "The people can go,
अनि राजाले भने मानिसहरू
the
जान
men,
सक्छन् अनि छोरा
but the
मानिसहरू
women and children are staying."
अनि पुरुष र स्त्री र बच्चाहरू चाहिँ यहीँ
And again Moses says,
रहनु
"No,
अनि मोसाले भने हुँदैन
because Christianity is not a man's religion.
अनि इसाई भनेको चाहिँ पुरुषहरू मात्रै होइनन्
It's not for the men.
अनि यो केवल पुरुषहरूको
It's for
लागि
the whole family.
अनि यो चाहिँ पुरै
It's
परिवार
for the men, the women, the children."
अनि यहाँ चाहिँ पुरुष र स्त्री र बालबच्चा
And Moses would not move. He says, "No, this is for everybody."
अनि मोसा चाहिँ त्यो कुरामा चुकेनन् उसले भने होइन हामी सबै नै जानेछौँ
And God is looking for a church,
अनि परमेश्वरले मण्डलीलाई
whole church.
सम्पूर्ण छ मण्डली
And you see, you know what's amazing is Apostle Paul is the greatest missionary.
अनि हामी त्यही पावललाई हामी हेर्न सक्छौँ उहाँ एउटा महान मिसनरी हुनुहुन्थ्यो
He writes in the book of Romans,
अनि उहाँले रोमीको पुस्तकमा लेख्नु भएको छ
and he writes 35 names of people.
त्यहाँ चाहिँ 35 वटा व्यक्तिका नामहरू उहाँले
who
लेख्नु
were his friends.
अनि जो चाहिँ उनका साथी
And
थिए
many of them are families.
अनि कति
This
परिवार
person and his wife and children.
अनि उनको श्रीमान
And many of them were single women. This sister who labors much in the Lord.
अनि कुनै एउटा चाहिँ स्त्रीहरू सिङ्गल स्त्रीहरू पनि छन् र
Mary, who is a great servant of the church.
मरियम जसले चाहिँ एउटा मेहनतको साथमा मण्डलीमा काम
Phoebe,
गर्छन्
the servant of God.
अनि
These women
दिदी भन्ने व्यक्ति
and these families.
अनि उहाँको परिवार
And the point is, here's the greatest missionary ever.
अनि यहाँ चाहिँ एउटा महान मिसनरी हुनुहुन्छ
Greatest apostle.
अनि महान प्रेरित
But his friends, all his friends are not the apostles. He is friends with them, but that's not his friends. Only the apostle people.
अनि उहाँ चाहिँ केवल प्रेरितहरूको बिचमा मात्रै हुनु भएन तर
I just spend time with leader people.
अनि म केवल अनि अगुवाहरूको बिचमा मात्रै समय बिताउँदिनँ
He was nurtured by the whole church.
अनि उहाँले चाहिँ मण्डलीलाई
And
अनि बनाउनु भयो
his comfort came from the church.
अनि उहाँले चाहिँ पावल प्रेरितले
And
चाहिँ
actually,
मण्डलीबाट
it was the whole church that sent Paul on the mission.
अनि त्यसै कारणले मण्डलीले चाहिँ पावल प्रेरितलाई चाहिँ मिसनमा पठाउनु
And really sustained him on the mission field.
अनि त्यो कुरा
By their
चाहिँ
love, by their prayers.
उनीहरूको प्रेम र प्रार्थनाद्वारा
Like one thing, so Jesus' last commandment,
अनि अन्तिममा यीशु ख्रिस्टले एउटा आज्ञा दिनुभयो
Matthew 28,
मत्तीको 28 अध्यायमा
go into all the world
अनि सारा संसारमा जाऊ
and preach the gospel,
अनि सुसमाचार प्रचार गर
teaching all men
अनि हरेक मानिसहरूलाई शिक्षा देऊ
all things I commanded you.
जति कुरा मैले तिमीहरूलाई आज्ञा दिएको छु
And so it is to go into all the world
अनि यो कुरा चाहिँ सारा संसार भर्ने
and
जाँदछ
to preach the gospel,
अनि सुसमाचार
but
प्रचार
then to teach them
अनि त्यसपछि उनीहरूलाई
and
शिक्षा
to
दिऊ
teach them all things in
अनि
the
सबै
Bible.
कुरा बाइबलमा भएको
Not
सबै
just the gospel, but all things.
सुसमाचार मात्रै होइन तर सबै कुरा
So,
सिकाउनु पर्छ
like when we talk of missions,
जब हामी मिसनको कुराकानी गर्छौँ
there's 4 steps to it,
अनि त्यहाँ चाहिँ 4
and
तह छन्
and it takes time,
अनि यसले चाहिँ समय लिँदछ
like a few years.
केही वर्षहरू
And the first one is that evangelism.
अनि पहिलो कुरा चाहिँ सुसमाचार प्रचार गर्नु
And Paul says, I go to preach where Christ has not been preached.
अनि जहाँ यीशु ख्रिस्टले प्रचार गर्नु भयो त्यो ठाउँमा चाहिँ म प्रचार
And he
गर्छु
said, I go to that place
अनि म त्यो ठाउँमा जानेछु
and I go evangelize where nobody ever heard.
अनि जहाँ चाहिँ सुसमाचार सुन्नेको छैन त्यो ठाउँमा गएर म
And you know,
समाचार सुन्छु
we have to keep that pioneer spirit in the church.
अनि त्यो कुरा चाहिँ हाम्रो जीवनमा चाहिँ हामीले सुसमाचार सुनाउने कुरा चाहिँ हाम्रो मण्डलीमा चाहिँ हुनुपर्दछ
But we have to do and keep reaching to places where Christ was not preached.
अनि जुन ठाउँमा सुसमाचार प्रचार गरेको छैन त्यो ठाउँमा हामी पुग्ने कोसिस निरन्तर गरिराख्नु पर्दछ
And the second one,
अनि दोस्रो कुरा चाहिँ
everywhere Paul went, he started a Bible school.
अनि जहाँ जहाँ पावल पुगे त्यहाँ उनले बाइबल स्टडी सुरु गरे
Not just a Bible study, but a Bible college.
अनि बाइबल अध्ययन मात्र होइन तर बाइबल स्कुल
In Ephesus, he has 2 years he taught every day.
अनि एफिससमा उनले 2 वर्षसम्म हरेक दिन सिकाए
And then after Paul left,
अनि जब उनले त्यहाँ छोडे
there was Timothy,
अनि त्यहाँ तिमोथी
Apostle John,
अनि यूहन्ना
Apollos,
अनि एपोलोस
and who else was there? Aquila, Priscilla.
अक्विला प्रिस्किला
Many strong Bible teachers.
अनि त्यहाँ चाहिँ एकदम बलियो बाइबल शिक्षकहरू थिए
And the idea is that the whole church is learning the Bible.
अनि सम्पूर्ण मण्डलीले चाहिँ बाइबल सिकिरहेका थिए
Not that the whole church is going to be going out on the mission field.
अनि यसको अर्थ यो होइन कि सबै मण्डलीको सबैजना मिसन
But
फिल्डमा
many
जानुपर्छ
people are learning.
तर धेरै मानिसहरूले सिक्दै थिए
And
बाइबल
then they understand why we have missions.
अनि त्यसपछि मण्डलीले बुझ्छन् कि
Why we have evangelism.
किन हामी सुसमाचार सुनाउँछौँ
Why we spend so much focus on the Bible.
किन हामी बाइबलमा मात्रै केन्द्रित हुन्छौँ
And the whole church starts to mature.
अनि मण्डली चाहिँ यसरी परिपक्वतर्फ
And
बढ्दछ
when you have a mature church,
अनि जब हामीमा एउटा परिपक्व मण्डली हुन्छ
then you can have missions.
अनि त्यसपछि हामी मिसनमा जान्छौँ
Because it takes the whole church to pray, to stand behind missions.
अनि मिसनमा मिसनमा जानुको पछाडि चाहिँ मण्डलीले प्रार्थना गर्ने
and to believe in what the missionary is doing,
अनि त्यो कुरा मिसनरीले के गरिरहेको छ त्यो
and to believe in what the pastor and the team are doing.
अनि त्यहाँ पास्टर टिमले के गरिरहेको छ त्यो कुरामा
So everywhere Paul went, he started a Bible school.
अनि जहाँ जहाँ पाउल गए त्यहाँ उनले बाइबल
And if you read in Acts, the church of Antioch,
अनि जब प्रेरितको पुस्तकमा हामीले
that sent out the missionaries,
अनि त्यहाँ मिसनरीहरू पठाइन्छन्
Paul was a teacher there,
अनि पाउल चाहिँ त्यहाँ शिक्षक हुनुहुन्छ
Barnabas,
बर्नाबास
Silas,
सिलास
Niger, and Simon.
अनि सिमोन
5 strong men.
अनि त्यहाँ
Good
5 जना
teachers.
बलियो
So the church was very strong,
अनि त्यहाँ चाहिँ मण्डली एउटा बलियो भएको हामी
and the
देख्छौँ
whole church prayed.
अनि सम्पूर्ण मण्डलीले
They
चाहिँ प्रार्थना
decided.
गर्छ।
So just that idea is that having a Bible school, having Bible studies,
अनि यो बाइबल स्टडी अनि बाइबल क्लास कस्तो हुन्छ
and what happens then in that group of people,
अनि त्यो समूहमा
you'll start to see some men
अनि त्यहाँ चाहिँ केही पुरुषहरूबाट
have a desire for leadership,
अनि त्यहाँ चाहिँ अनि अगुवापनको
and
लागि चाहिँ चाहना
a desire to be pastors,
अनि सायद त्यहाँबाट
and a
अनि
desire to be part of a church team.
अनि एउटा चर्च टिममा चाहिँ त्यो सहभागी हुन सक्छन्
And then really you particularly spend time with those men,
अनि त्यो व्यक्तिहरूसँग चाहिँ हामी केही मुख्य समय
and you're really focusing on those men and different even and the women who really have that desire,
अनि त्यो हृदय भएको पुरुष स्त्रीसँग चाहिँ हामी समय
and
बिताउन
really all through the Bible you'll see Paul has Timothy,
अनि हामी बाइबलमा हामी देख्छौँ पाउलसँग तिमोथी थिए
Titus,
तीतस
Trophimus,
ट्रोफिमस
he has maybe 7 Secundus, 7-8 men always investing in them.
अनि 7-8 जनामा चाहिँ पाउलले धेरै लगानी गरेका थिए
And they will be the people who will really be the leaders in the future.
अनि भविष्यका तिनीहरू चाहिँ अगुवा थिए
If there's another church on the other side of Pokhara or here, these will be the men who will really be behind that.
अनि पोखराभन्दा बाहिर पनि यस्ता अगुवाहरू हाम्रो हुन
And also there'll be the people who you can trust on your board and all those areas.
अनि हामीले त्यस्ता व्यक्तिहरू कतिपय त्यस्ता व्यक्तिहरूलाई पनि
And then lastly, you send those men are sent out.
अनि त्यस्ता अन्तिममा चाहिँ त्यस्ता व्यक्तिहरूलाई हामी पठाउन
And
सक्छौँ
they are, they're sent to start and be part of something new.
अनि हामी उनीहरूलाई पठाएर अनि त्यो मिसनमा हामी सहभागी गराउँछौँ
So this is the goal. We try to do all 4 things at the same time.
अनि यो चारै कुरालाई हामी चाहिँ एउटै समयमा चाहिँ हामी
You have Bible college happening,
अनि हाम्रो बाइबल कलेज हुँदछ
but sometimes you say, we're taking a mission trip.
त्यही समयपछि हामी त्यो मिसन ट्रिप पनि हामीले जान सक्छौँ
What for?
के को लागि
Just to evangelize.
केवल सुसमाचार
Will we ever have a church there?
त्यही मण्डलीहरू छैन
Maybe never,
अनि सायद त्यहाँ नहुनु
but we just evangelize.
केवल हामी त्यहाँ सुसमाचार प्रचार गर्छौँ
And what it does is it preaches to people who never heard.
अनि यदि कोही व्यक्ति त्यहाँ सुनेको छैन र हामी त्यहाँ प्रचार गर्छौँ
It gives a vision to the team members and the church people to see, oh, we can go to these places.
अनि हामी त्यहाँ व्यक्तिहरूमा यो एउटा बोझ दर्शन लिएर हामी त्यो ठाउँमा जान
It
सक्छौँ
puts in their heart a burden to pray.
अनि त्यो ठाउँको लागि हामी हृदयमा बोझ लिएर प्रार्थना गर्न सक्छौँ
Where the people are going, and this really stirs up. And what it does when those people come back to the church,
यो कुराले हाम्रो हृदयलाई उत्साहित गराउँदछ र जब त्यो व्यक्ति
there's a little excitement.
अनि अलिकति उत्साह हुँदछ
And God does that, and He honors it.
अनि यो कुरालाई परमेश्वरले आदर गर्छ
Even though church is busy,
अनि भलै यहाँ
And life is busy.
अनि जीवन व्यस्त भएका
but Jesus saying, but keep going into new areas.
अनि
Keep pioneering.
यीशु ख्रीष्टले भन्नुहुन्छ कि निरन्तर त्यो ठाउँको निम्ति अनि जाऊ
And then also you have Bible classes that you're trying to attend and run.
त्यो ठाउँमा चाहिँ अनि बाइबल क्लासहरू पनि हामी सुरु गर्न
So
सक्छौँ
we keep it going still.
हामी
And
गरिराख्नु पर्दछ
they all run at the same time.
अनि यो कुरामा अनि अरू कुरालाई पनि हामी
So
सक्छौँ
this is God's goal for us.
अनि यो चाहिँ परमेश्वर हामीबाट
And you'll start to find the people that who will be the new leaders and the new will come out of that Bible school.
अनि परमेश्वरले र यो कुरा पनि चाहनुहुन्छ कि को चाहिँ अनि बाइबल कलेज आउन चाहनुहुन्छ र अगुवापनमा लिडरसिपमा पनि को आउन चाहनुहुन्छ.
So, you know, there's so few people. You'll see this. Jesus says, the harvest is great
अनि परमेश्वर यीशु ख्रीष्टले भन्नुभएको
and the laborers are few.
अनि खेतबारी त यहाँ खेताला चाहिँ
And then Jesus said this, lift up your eyes to the fields.
अनि यीशु ख्रीष्टले भन्नुभएको छ कि बारीमा हेर,
The fields are white for harvest.
अनि त्यो चाहिँ अनि कटनीको लागि तयार.
What does it mean to lift up your eyes to the field?
अनि यसको अर्थ के हो भने खेततिर आँखा लगाउनु.
It means to go and have a look at the field.
अनि गएर अनि त्यो खेतलाई हेर.
Go take a trip and look and see how the field is going.
अनि मिसन ट्रिपमा जानु र त्यो ठाउँमा हेर्नु.
Talk to the people who are laboring there. How are things? And you see, you learn. Lift up your eyes and learn what the field is happening.
अनि त्यहाँ मिसन ट्रिपमा गएर त्यहाँ हेर्नु, त्यहाँ सिक्नु, त्यहाँ वास्तवमा के भइरहेको छ.
But God will take care. I'll tell you the last story and we'll finish.
हामी अन्तिममा कथा बनाउने.
It's the same story is that, you know, maybe you have trouble in your life.
अनि सायद तपाईको जीवनमा समस्या
and God cares about your trouble.
अनि परमेश्वरको समस्याको वास्ता.
There was a king, his name was Saul.
अनि त्यहाँ राजा छ साउल.
And he had a herd of donkeys.
अनि उनले चाहिँ आफ्नो गधाहरू
And he
हेरिरहेको.
lost the donkeys.
अनि उनले हराएको गधाहरू.
3 days he went looking for the donkeys.
खोज्न लाग्दाखेरि
Couldn't find them.
तर उनले भेट्टाएन.
And eventually he was thinking, oh, now my father will be worried about I'm lost.
अनि अब मेरो बुवाले वास्ता
Can't find the
अब हराइसके.
donkeys. Where are the donkeys?
अनि अब मैले चाहिँ मेरो पशु
All his kind of livelihood. Where's my donkeys?
अनि उसको सबै सम्पूर्ण कुरामा उसले मेरो त्यो गधाहरू कता हरायो.
So his friend says, come on, let's go to pray about it.
अनि
Go to
उसको
Samuel.
साथीले उसलाई भने कि आऊ हामी प्रार्थना गरौँ.
So as they went to seek God's help for their problem
त्यो समयमा अनि उनीहरूले परमेश्वरसँग
through Samuel.
समयद्वारा
When he got there,
अनि जब उनी त्यहाँ गए
Samuel said to him,
अनि समयले उनलाई भने
don't worry about the donkeys.
अनि त्यो आफ्नो जनावरको गधाको बारेमा
The donkeys have been found.
अनि त्यो कुरा भेटाइएका छन्.
God has a plan for your life.
परमेश्वरले तिम्रो जीवनमा योजना.
God wants you to be king.
अनि परमेश्वरले तिम्रो राजा भएर.
God has a kingdom.
अनि परमेश्वरको
And he
राज
has enemies.
अनि त्यहाँ दुश्मनहरू छन्.
And he wants you to help in the kingdom.
अनि त्यस ठाउँमा तिमीले सहायता गर्नु परेको छ.
See, God does that.
अनि परमेश्वरले यो गर्नुहुन्छ.
The only reason Saul came to God
अनि एउटै कारणले साउल चाहिँ
because his
परमेश्वर
donkeys were missing.
तर उसको चाहिँ
He didn't care about God's kingdom.
अनि उसलाई चाहिँ परमेश्वरको राज्यको बारेमा
And
वास्ता
when he
थिएन.
came to God to say, where are my donkeys?
अनि जब ऊ परमेश्वरकोमा आएर उसले भने मेरो
What about my job? What about my problems?
मेरो समस्याहरू.
God said, don't worry about your donkeys.
अनि तिम्रो त्यो गधाहरूको बारेमा चिन्ता
He
नदेऊ.
says, there's a kingdom.
अनि त्यहाँ चाहिँ राज्य.
And I need you in the kingdom.
अनि मलाई त्यो राज्यमा तिम्रो आवश्यक छ.
Like the story we told at the start,
अनि हामीले सुरुमा यो कुराहरू गऱ्यौँ.
the man put the general's field on fire.
अनि जुन व्यक्तिले अहिले त्यो सहायकको खेतमा आगो लगाइदिए.
And when he came back angry. Why did you set my field on fire?
त्यो व्यक्ति आएर अनि तिमीले मेरो खेतमा किन आगो लगाइदियो.
And he said, because I need to see the king. I have to get your attention.
अनि मलाई राजासँग भेट्नु छ र
And I
मलाई
can't get your attention.
अनि ध्यान केन्द्रित म भएको चाहन्छु तर त्यो कुरा भएन.
So God does that to us.
अनि यही कुरा हाम्रो जीवनमा
You know, sometimes we have problems
अनि कतिपय हाम्रो जीवनमा
and
समस्याहरू
we
छन्.
say, my field is on fire.
अनि मेरो खेतमा आगो लागेको
I
छ.
have problems in my life.
अनि मेरो जीवनमा
I have
समस्या
problems
छ.
in my
अनि
relationship.
मेरो सम्बन्धमा
Problems
समस्या
in
छ.
my job.
मेरो काममा मेरो समस्या छ.
God, and we cry to God.
अनि म परमेश्वरसँग प्रार्थना गर्छु.
And God says, I've also got problems.
अनि मसँग पनि एउटा
I have
समस्या छ.
problems in my kingdom.
अनि मेरो समस्या छ.
I've got people lost.
अनि त्यहाँ मानिसहरू
I've
आएर
got people, you know, full of drugs in beaten homes and they don't know Jesus Christ.
मेरा मानिसहरू अनि ड्रग्स एडिक्टमा छन् अनि उनीहरू
And they're my people.
तिनीहरू मेरा
And I love them.
अनि म
And I
तिनीहरूलाई
have
प्रेम गर्छु.
nobody to help me with them.
अनि कसैले पनि उनीहरूलाई सहयोग गरेको छैन.
But my field is on fire.
अनि मेरो खेतमा
And God
चाहिँ
says, yeah, but my field is on fire as well.
अनि मेरो खेतमा चाहिँ अब
all my people I love in the world,
अनि जुन संसार भएका मानिसहरू म
they're dying, there's no comfort, there's no Christ,
त्यहाँ कुनै यीशु ख्रीष्ट
there's no forgiveness.
त्यहाँ कुनै क्षमा पनि छैन
Now I want to talk to you.
अनि म तिमीसँग
And God says, now I've got your attention.
अनि अब चाहिँ तिम्रो ध्यान केन्द्र मतिर भएको चाहन्छु
And God's saying, you want me to help your field?
अनि परमेश्वरले भन्छ के म तिम्रो खेतको निम्ति
Well,
सहयोग
I want you to help my field.
अनि म चाहन्छु तिमी चाहिँ मेरो खेतको निम्ति
And you are my sons.
तिमी
And you're my daughters.
तिमी मेरो
And this
छोरीहरू
is my family.
अनि तिमी मेरो
And I have a field.
अनि मेरो एउटा
And I need help in it.
अनि मलाई त्यसको
And
निम्ति
it's time to grow up.
अनि त्यहाँ
And
चाहिँ
it's time to help my field.
वृद्धि हुनु आवश्यक
And it's time to
छ
be part of what I'm doing.
अनि जुन कुरामा गर्ने
And after a while we start saying, what does our Father want?
अनि हामी भन्छौँ त मेरो
This
पिताले
is His house.
अनि उहाँको घर
This is His world.
अनि यो उहाँको
We're
संस्था।
His people.
अनि उहाँ जहाँ चाहिँ
And He's saying, I want some mature daughters.
अनि मलाई चाहिँ एउटा परिपक्व
I want some mature sons.
अनि मलाई चाहिँ परिपक्व
We're saying,
चाहिएको छ
Dad, what's your problems?
अनि तिम्रो समस्या
How can I help?
म तिमीलाई कसरी सहयोग गर्छु?
So, and the important thing is,
महत्त्वपूर्ण कुरा
50% of the world's people are women.
अनि 50% विश्वमा चाहिँ स्त्रीहरू छन्
50% of the world's people are women.
अनि 50% स्त्रीहरू
And
चाहिँ
who can sit and pray with a woman?
अनि को चाहिँ बसेर अनि
And
प्रार्थना
who
गर्न
can
सक्छ?
sit and comfort the heart of a woman?
अनि कसले चाहिँ स्त्रीको हृदयलाई चाहिँ सान्त्वना
And
दिन्छ
who can help a mother with her children?
कसले चाहिँ एउटा आफ्नो बच्चाले चाहिँ आफ्नो आमाले चाहिँ बच्चालाई हुर्काउन सक्छ
Women can.
अनि यो स्त्रीहरूले नै गर्न सक्छ
So can men, but not as good as women.
अनि यो चाहिँ पुरुषहरू पनि
And
सक्छ
especially women who know the Bible.
अनि विशेष गरी जसले चाहिँ बाइबललाई
Women who know how God thinks.
अनि त्यो स्त्रीहरू जसले चाहिँ
And-
परमेश्वरको सोचसँग मिलेको
You learn that in Bible class.
अनि जसले
And you learn that in church. And then you start to see, we are God's people.
अनि हामी चाहिँ परमेश्वरका छोराछोरी हौँ
We're the only ones God has. We're the only people God has.
अनि जुन मानिसहरू छन्
Who else is going to do it? Most of the missionaries are doing farming work.
अनि कतिपय मिसनरीहरूले चाहिँ खेतमा काम गरिरहेका छन्
Who will tell them the gospel?
कसले चाहिँ सुसमाचार प्रचार गर्ने?
And we just thank God. And God's saying, but don't worry about your field. I'll take care of your field.
अनि तिम्रो खेतीको बारेमा
You will take
चिन्ता
care of it.
नगर म त्यो वास्ता गर्ने
And you take care of my field.
तर तिमीले चाहिँ मेरो खेतको वास्ता गर
So, amen.
आमेन
हाम्रो दिदीबहिनीहरू कति महत्त्वपूर्ण रहेछौँ भन्ने कुरा आज थाहा पायो होइन मिसन सङ्घमा अनि हामी पुरुष मात्र होइन तर दिदीबहिनीलाई पनि परमेश्वरले चलाउन चाहनुहुन्छ होइन ओके हुन्छ हामी प्रार्थना अन्तिम प्रार्थना गर्नेछौँ त्योभन्दा अघि एउटा जुन चाहिँ गीत वा भजन हामी गाउनेछौँ त्यसैले हाम्रो यसपछि हामी प्रार्थना गर्नेछौँ है
I hadn't planned that. I
सभामा उदाको सुसमाचार सुनाउने छु मेरा ओठहरू म बन्द गर्ने छैन म मेरो हृदयमा तपाईँको धार्मिकतालाई लुकाउँदिन तपाईँको विश्वासयोग्यतामा घोषणा गर्छु
God has a kingdom,
परमेश्वरसँग राज्य छ
and it's a kingdom that lasts forever.
र यो राज्य चाहिँ सदा रहिरहने राज्य
It starts on the earth
र यो चाहिँ पृथ्वीमा सुरु
with
हुन्छ
joy,
आनन्द
with
सहित
peace,
शान्ति
and
सहित
righteousness in the heart.
र हृदयमा धार्मिकता
And it
सहित
continues forever in heaven.
र यो सबैको निम्ति रहिरहन्छ स्वर्गमा
And if you don't know Jesus Christ,
यदि तपाईँले यसो
he
ख्रीष्टलाई
says the
चिन्नु भएको
kingdom
छैन
is
भने
righteousness
र उहाँको धार्मिकतालाई शान्तिलाई
and joy.
र आनन्दलाई
But you can't have peace unless you have righteousness.
र तपाईँले तबसम्म शान्ति पाउन सक्नुहुन्न जबसम्म तपाईँसँग
So
धार्मिकता
Jesus
हुँदैन
said he will forgive your sins
यसो ख्रीष्टले भन्नुभयो उहाँले तपाईँको
and
पाप
he'll
क्षमा
make your heart
गर्नुहुन्छ
clean.
र तपाईँको हृदयलाई शुद्ध
And
बनाउनु
because your heart is clean, you'll have peace.
र तपाईँको हृदय शुद्ध भएको कारण
And when you
तपाईँसँग
have
शान्ति
peace, you'll
हुन्छ
have joy.
र जब तपाईँसित शान्ति हुन्छ तब आनन्द हुन्छ
And so let's pray.
आउनुहोस् प्रार्थना गरौँ
If you don't know that your sins are forgiven,
यदि तपाईँलाई थाहा छैन कि तपाईँको पाप
You can
क्षमा
pray.
भएको छ तपाईँले
And
प्रार्थना गर्न
Jesus will take your
सक्नुहुन्छ
sins.
र यसो ख्रीष्टले तपाईँको पापलाई
lift
लैजानु
our
आउनुहुन्छ
heads and
आउनुहोस् हाम्रो शिर
you
निम्र्याउँ
can repeat this in your heart.
र तपाईँले हृदयमा यसलाई दोहोऱ्याउन सक्नुहुन्छ
Jesus,
प्रभु येशू
Lord, I have sinned.
प्रभु हाम्रो
It's a burden in my
हाम्रो
heart.
पापलाई लिनुहोस् यो चाहिँ मेरो हाम्रो हृदयमा बोझ भइरहेको छ
Forgive my sin.
मेरा पापहरू क्षमा गर्नुहोस्
Clean my heart
मेरो हृदयलाई शुद्ध
so
बनाउनुहोस्
that I am righteous
ताकि म धर्मी हुन सकु
with no sin.
कुनै पनि पाप बिना
For you've taken my sin.
कारण तपाईँले मेरो पाप लैजानु
Give
भएको
me your peace
मलाई तपाईँको शान्ति
and your
दिनुहोस्
joy.
तपाईँको आनन्द
In
दिनुहोस्
Jesus' name.
यीशु ख्रीष्टको नाममा
Amen.
आमेन
We just close in prayer. Lord, thank you.
परमेश्वर पिता धन्यवाद दिन्छौँ
Thank you that you're with us.
धन्यवाद दिन्छौँ तपाईँ
Thank
हामीसँग
you that
हुनुहुन्छ
you love us.
कारण तपाईँले हामीलाई
That we
प्रेम
are your
गर्नुहुन्छ
people.
हामी तपाईँको मानिसहरू
We are your
प्रार्थना
children.
गर्छौँ हामी यहाँ तपाईँको सन्तानहरू छौँ
We are your family.
हामी तपाईँका परिवार हौँ
And we are interested in what you're interested
र
in.
हामी त्यही कुरामा चाख राख्छौँ जस कुरामा तपाईँ चाख
And Lord,
राख्नुहुन्छ
make us interested in your fields.
परमेश्वर हामीलाई तपाईँको खेतहरूमा चाख राख्न सहायता गर्नुहोस्
And we pray you take care of our fields
र हामी
also.
प्रार्थना गर्छौँ हाम्रो खेतबारीहरूको पनि तपाईँले वास्ता गर्नुहोस्।
Amen.
आमेन।